Hi and welcome to Trade of the Week. This week's trade is a double short bet on the Dow. After a good start to the week, the Dow had been unable to break through 10,600. In fact, the best it had managed was 10,580. By Thursday, the US looked to have reached good news saturation point, where above forecast corporate earnings were having little effect on the Dow. I was surprised by the Dow's enthusiastic open after poor jobless figures, but there appeared to be little interest in holding the higher level, and the opening candle posted a bearish shooting star. The bulls have been running the show this week, so I wasn't in a rush to argue with them. I wanted further confirmation before opening a short bet. And the next candle did the job. It formed a corrupted evening star reversal pattern. I say corrupted because this was made up of 4 candles rather than 3. But the candle did close below the 21 period moving average, confirmed by an RSI reading of 48. But because the candle had closed off the lows, I held off watching for a 50% retrace. And when the move stopped short of the halfway line, I opened my bet, selling £3 at 10,535. Trading the Dow is notoriously volatile, so I prefer to keep my bet size small and my stop loss wide. In this case, I chose 10,595, just above the day's high for my stop loss. On my £3 bet, this gave me a risk of £180. As this trade was going against the recent trend, I wasn't going to be too greedy with my target. The 200-day moving average ought to provide support at 10,460. But markets often overshoot key levels in the heat of the moment, so I set a limit order to close out £2 at 10,450, leaving a small bet open to test the mood of the market. This turned out to be a peach of a trade. My bet only briefly went into the red before making like a lemming off the cliff face. In just over half an hour, my limit order had triggered as the index crashed below 10,400. I missed the action below 10,400, but closed out on completion of a hammer reversal candle. That's that one. This candle hadn't retraced 50% of the previous one, but the long tail persuaded me of reasonable demand at the lower levels, so I bought back my £1 at 10,430. So that was 85 points on a £2 bet and 105 points on £1, for an overall profit of £275. Granted, not a huge sum, but it suited my risk appetite. But there's a bit more. I had been right to close my bet because the index rallied over 100 points. But I figured that after such a vicious fall earlier, the bears would mount another attack approaching the US close. I opened a fresh £2 sell bet at 10,500. It's in there. I was a bit early and didn't catch the top, but I got the mood of the market right, and I managed to close out for 10,460 just after the closing bell. This added a further £80 to my earlier gains. Have a good weekend.